revolution.
Fusion reaction in T minus 3, 2, 1. Fusion!
You don't know the power. The math is unfrontable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
Get to the chopper!
Press go up. Gigantic fusion reactor that just works.
Multiple income streams and real yield. Jeeps can no longer dump on your heads. The revolutionary decentralized finance protocol. Fusion reaction in T minus 3, 2, 1. Fusion!
You don't know the power. The math is unfrontable. Fusion reaction.
Oh, hell yeah.
The mothership.
And what's it gonna do?
Everybody excited.
Oh, hell yeah.
Here's my creation!
Fusion.
Get ready to rumble.
Fusion.
Gotta do a huge shout out to Cool Sheet. That song just hits.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP Money. This is our live AMA, and my name is AJ. I am the team lead here. We come to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I am also joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA, how are you?
I am freaking fantastic, off the walls, excited, happy, and ready to fucking go.
Amazing. Yes, again, as usual, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe before we get started. But today will be a little short and sweet. We have a really awesome AMA after this. So on Thursdays, we will now be also doing our Honorverse Madness live stream. So we've been busy behind the scenes getting it already. Unfortunately, I don't know if we're going to be able to stream to YouTube as there is a 24-hour cooldown, but we should be able to get it through Telegram and through Twitter. So again, make sure you're inviting people into our Telegram anyway, because we really want to build our communities. But that being said, we're going to go over everything other than Honorverse Madness today and get right to it. So another really busy and productive week. The overall, market has still been slipping a little bit, but I think that again, this is just one more dip before we start really taking off. And anytime we're above 60K Bitcoin, things are looking really promising. So before we get into all that, though, we hope that everyone in Florida and North Carolina are safe after the two hurricanes that just went through. I really appreciate all the personal well wishes for me and my family. Yes, luckily we are away at the moment, but everything has been good, no damage. I'm on the east coast of Florida, so we missed the path, the direct path. But yeah, shout out to all of you that I know we have a lot of Floridians that did get hit bad. Our original developer Jake, he got hit really hard. So again, shout out to all of you. If there is anything anybody needs, feel free to reach out. But yeah, we looks like we made it through the worst. So hopefully that's it for the year. Usually October is the end of hurricane season. Anyway, although I did hear on the news that there might be another one in the Caribbean. So we'll see how that goes. But nevertheless, everything else is looking good in our ecosystems at least, and in crypto. The markets, again, although we saw a big sell-off over the last this last week, I think we've found a local floor again, and I think that, we should start seeing Uptober, rather than Rectober. So, again, we'll see how the next few weeks play out. But overall, we're getting ready for a super bullish 2025. So, all right, Ella, anything you want to add to that before we jump right in?
Yeah, just that I hope everyone here is safe. And again, just to reiterate what AJ said, if anyone needs anything, even if it's just support, let us know. We're here for all of you guys.
Yeah, 100%. Again, I know we're still one big family. I know Florida Joe, he's over by me, so I think he is good. And again, if there is anybody in the community, feel free to reach out and we'll get through it and get ready for the next hurricane season. Again, that's the price we pay for living in paradise, I guess. But all right, so moving on to EMP Fusion, we have had some incredible community initiative over the last week, and with that, we've seen a major uptick. Oh my God, I can't talk today, Jesus. We've seen a major uptick in EMP sacrifice. So we saw this community initiative. I spoke about it on Monday's AMA, where the community just rallied in pledging, around 2,000 EMP per day or per week, whatever you can afford. Again, no, don't ever invest more than you can afford. But doing that as a community, little by little, until we hit supply shock. So, I think that's really bullish, and I definitely think that we will have an update from Grover. He has been the one to kind of spearhead this. And although he's not officially part of the team, he is a part of Dex Finance, and he's been an amazing asset to our community. So we'll arrange that. I don't think he's around now, but we can definitely bring him on for a future AMA to kind of go over everything. And the rough calculation is that we're just around 200K in dollar value away from hitting our supply shock. So, in other words, if there was market buys of around 200K or more, we would be at peg and starting the supply shock, immediately. So that works out to be just over about 2 million EMP total at these prices, which again, we've had well over just a million EMP sacrificed since we launched with the new battery. So that number is very achievable. And again, that is what the flywheel needs, is this new injection, so to speak, of getting the last bit of EMP off the market and sacrificed into Fusion. So, will there still be sell-offs? For sure. We still have to get through the swing traders, but it really doesn't matter in the long term because, those people are selling. It's a one-time issue, and we're able to just continue buying and sacrificing, and then they're never able to buy back cheaper and swing trade, because at some point in the very near future, all the paper handlers sell, and then we get excited because there is no more EMP left. So, Ella, you want to go over the multiple reasons why that is so bullish?
For sure. Sorry, first of all, I just want to say how bullish it is, the math that Grover worked out. Because, and I don't know if you saw it posted in all of our EMP groups, but with only roughly about 2 million EMP or $200,000 worth of EMP left to sacrifice before we get to a major supply shock, That's just absolutely massive. In the last 6 weeks alone, since the launch of this battery, we've had well over 1 million additional EMP sacrificed. So if we only have 2 million or less to go before we achieve this massive supply shock, can you imagine how bullish it would be for us all to continue this community initiative and get there way sooner as a team, all rowing in that big dragon boat in the same direction? Because we can get there really relatively shortly if we ask the right questions. So as opposed to asking the question, why is EMP not back to peg yet? The right question is, how can I help us get back to peg? What can I do? How can I help? And if we're all asking that question and we do our part little by little, whatever is manageable, we'll get there very soon. I get bullish when I see these people that have been holding on to EMP for a really long time sell off, because those are people that never had the intention to go into Fusion. Maybe they don't attend AMAs or read the white paper or watch the videos or have any idea how bullish Fusion is, or maybe they simply just have moved on and no longer feel aligned with the community. But either way, when those people sell off, they're selling at a loss or at very, very little of a gain, because EMP is down right now. But what that means is it means that all of us have an opportunity to sacrifice the remaining EMP at a massive, massive peg bonus. The thing that I would hate to see most is if we were almost all the way back to peg and then there was big sell-offs. We've been watching, and these people that we've been keeping an eye on have very little EMP left. And thank God for us, they've been doing it chunk by chunk, not in some big, shocking manner. And so this is very bullish for us because it means that we get to maximize, each of us individually, our ownership stake in the protocol. And when we get back to peg, those stakes are going to be extremely valuable because we reach that utopia state where all of the EMP is locked inside Fusion, and the only way to get in is to purchase someone's microgrid. That, coupled with the fact that we expect ETH to go up, whether it's next month, whether it's 6 months from now, I have no idea, but we do expect ETH to go in an upwards direction over time. And that, coupled with us being back to peg, is absolutely lethal. So the fact that there's still going to be sell-offs, it's good, because the people that are no longer involved in our community are getting the hell out of our way so that each of us individually can absolutely maximize our ownership position and put us into an unreal position when it matters. This is all the lead up. You're tying your shoelaces right now to prepare to run the race of a lifetime. But if you start that race with untied shoes, you'll fall flat on your face. So now is the time to hydrate, to tie up your laces real tight, to make sure you've stretched, and do all those activities to prepare you for the bull run. And we are working to get there one day at a time. So that's why I'm very excited, and we are heading in the right direction.
I love it. Absolutely, LA. Again, I don't have a lot to add because I think you hit all the major points, but it's true. I mean, this is just one more step in our journey. And, the math, again, as we've said many, many times, the math is unfuddable. And, once more and more EMP is sacrificed, then everything that LA just went over holds true. And that flywheel that we talk about starts spinning. And what that flywheel is us getting back to peg. Uh, on the way, the sacrifice bonus becomes less and less. So you have this FOMO of needing to get in before you get no bonus. Because remember, the lower we are below peg, the higher the sacrifice bonus is. So it's a built-in mechanism that drives the FOMO of people sacrificing now rather than later. And again, as we move back to peg, this will be intensified even more. And then once we're at peg, because there is no more EMP left, or very little EMP left from wallets, and other holders that can be sold, we're essentially guaranteeing that we remain at peg. And in that case, we can implement our peg stabilization bot that we've mentioned before that will automatically, sell above peg and automatically buy below peg. That is another mechanism that not only keeps peg at what it should be, but it also allows us to then really juice up the APR and the earnings from that bot. So, I mean, there's just so many things that happen once this flywheel is in effect. And again, it's a multi-stage process. So right now, as a community, all we need to worry about, or as LA put it, rowing in the same direction, is getting as much EMP sacrificed as possible. Then the next step is, again, peg recovery and maintaining peg. That allows us to scale the APR. That makes Fusion even more attractive when APRs are super lucrative. And then the end goal is, again, what Ellie mentioned, where the only way to get into EMP Fusion is by buying somebody else's microgrid. And who knows, the APR may be so good at that point that there's not a lot of people wanting to sell their microgrid, or if they are, they're selling at a premium. And at that case, we're all killing it. So, those that have been here for 3 years, those that have stuck with us to, build these positions, I think over the next few months, we really start seeing all of our hard efforts come to light. And again, this is all on top of an incoming bull run, which should bring a lot more users in the space as well. And we'll talk about it in the HVM uh, AMA, but we now have an amazing relationship with a top tier marketing agency that we'll be utilizing for all of our projects moving forward. And that again will help us get new users in and continue to, make Fusion as robust as possible. And regardless of new users or regardless of pay, over time, because of our real revenue streams, the revenue is what makes this sustainable, and we're only adding more revenue streams, and that segues into our next topic, which is DexSwap. So again, not only are we building a multi-chain DEX that will then incorporate Spark on Pulse and Cedo on Manta, but now we'll also have BSC, and hopefully all the top EVM chains eventually. I saw even today that Uniswap announced they're creating their own L2 that we can maybe take advantage of as well. So there's a lot of up and coming chains. There seems like a new chain every few months, but that is good for us because we essentially just copy paste the infrastructure on the new chain, and everywhere we launch, even if we get a minimal market share, we're producing fees and revenue on everything that we do. So again, that is super bullish for what's coming, and we've been making some killer progress. So Ella, do you want to talk a little bit about DexSwap, or was there anything else with Fusion before we move on?
Yeah, we're making some incredible progress with DexSwap behind the scenes with development. So we'll have a lot more updates for you on that soon. And we would love to have Jake, actually, Jake, Dex CEO, come on for one of our upcoming AMAs and really help us to highlight some of that progress that's being made. We're also about to launch all the socials very soon. So you heard me mention it on Monday's AMA. We are going to be switching over some of our largest, most highly engaged social accounts over to DexSwap to kind of consolidate everything. So you will see me making announcements about that very soon once we get everything switched over. And it's really bullish because it allows us to really consolidate all of our efforts onto one set of socials, onto one UI, onto one project, as opposed to having a lot of smaller projects. Not to be confused, Fusion will still remain as a separate entity, the mothership that receives rewards from all of the other projects. But I'm talking about consolidating SparkSwap and CedoSwap and this new BSC DEX. They're all consolidated into the brand DexSwap. it is a multi-chain DEX and bridge, and it's going to have a lot of very bullish features that we're very excited about. That being said, we are going to have a lot of kind of educational content that's going to come out regarding DexSwap when it's time, and we're going to keep doing everything we can to make sure everyone is well prepared, well educated, and just feels very comfortable always with your investment in our projects.
Yeah, 100%. And, there are also some ancillary benefits of DexSwap in terms of fusion, on top of everything Ella just said. But the main thing is that having our own DEX and our own LP within that DEX on BSC. So right now, all of our LP for both EMP and Eshare is on PancakeSwap. And the unfortunate reality is there are a lot of predatory bots on PancakeSwap, and because a lot of our liquidity is still in V2 rather than V3, that means that PancakeSwap gets a lot of the fees that are generated through selling and buying EMP and selling and buying eShare. So the fact that we're able to migrate that, and again, like Ella said, don't get nervous, don't panic. We'll have full instructions and plenty of lead up time on this process. But the ultimate goal is that we do migrate our liquidity to our own DEX, and now we're earning fees on all the volume. And all of you providing liquidity for EMP or eShare will be getting a higher percentage of fees through V3 liquidity as well. So it's a win-win for everybody, and it makes it even more streamlined, and we're not giving value to other DEXs or other predatory bots, because remember, we have some incredible technology behind all of our DEXs that eliminate predatory bots. Again, if you've been on Pulse Chain and using SparkSwap, you'll see that we eliminate all the MEV bots and sandwich bots and front running bots. So it's really powerful, and we're able to run our own bots to again mitigate that and keep the value in the ecosystem. So all of those things are what are the end goal of making Fusion and DexSwap even more powerful together. So, all right, awesome. And again, everybody says when. We're super close. I mean, the actual tech build out is pretty much finished. We're just still honing in the UI, the branding, the social merging. Like Ella said, we'll merge everything under one roof. So, and obviously we have a lot on our plate for the month of October with TGE and everything else going on for HVM. But it will be here sooner than later. And I know Jake had mentioned, before Q4, but here we are. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but obviously we're super close. But all right, awesome. Anything else with Fusion or DexSwap?
No, that's it.
Cool. All right. Well, we're moving right along. Again, we said today would be short and sweet. The other question we've been seeing a lot of is about bonds. So yes, we are definitely aware the bonds are coming due at the end of the month. For those of you that may remember, we had launched the EMP Treasury Bonds. It was a 60% APR, and it's coming due the end of October, November 1st. So we'll have more updates on this as it gets a little bit closer with specific information regarding it, but we are definitely on track. So, all right. I think that was it. LA, anything else before we jump into questions?
Yeah, I do want to remind everyone this is like we gave the final call on Monday. So if you have any interest in joining the Yield Consortium, it's kind of this is the time, this is it. And also, I'd love AJ for you to go in because there was kind of a little bit of a debate on Discord, and I tried to explain, but it didn't seem to really click with the user that was asking this question. Why is it not a bad thing that we did a OTC on eShare, and even though it doesn't add direct buying pressure, can you kind of go over that we were only doing this with users to prevent sandwich botting, and also to users that we know are not going to just sell it, that are holding on to it for the long run?
Yeah, 100%. So twofold. The first question, well, I guess we'll start backward. So OTC, yes. I mean, again, we had a maximum amount of $10,000, so it really, in the grand scheme of things, wasn't, a ton. And the reason that we did it is many things. So OTC transactions are very common in protocols. It's just that nobody really talks about it, and we do. I mean, we're fully transparent on everything that we do. And so what happens is if somebody wanted to go buy $10,000 of eShare on the market right now, because of our liquidity and because of the sandwich bots and the front running bots, they would get absolutely destroyed on slippage. And that, again, is value going to everybody but us and the user. So again, the pancake swap gets more money than we do out of that. The predatory bots get more money out of that than we do, or the user. And so again, OTC deals are very common, and then we are able to use that money and put it back in the treasury to generate more yield that in the long run will more than pay for those shares that were bought anyway. So it gives us a way to generate some cash flow, to cover what needs to be covered, or to invest again into our own vaults where that money is being generated to pay and buy EMP and eShare on a regular basis. And yeah, I mean, this is probably the last time that we'll do OTC because uh, number one, again, it does affect, I don't want to say affect, it does delay the PEG recovery, but in the long run, it actually is much better for PEG because we're able to generate more yield on that money. And honestly, I think two people took me up on it for less than 5K total. So we're not talking a lot of money here. And obviously, if a big whale came in and wanted to buy 100 grand of eShare EMP to then turn around and dump it, that's not something we're not gonna do. So yeah, I don't know if that helps explain, Ella. And then there was another question in there too, right?
Yeah, well, I just want to reiterate, um, you know, it some of our most loyal, long-standing emperors wanted to purchase, I saw one person in the chats trying to purchase 94 eShare. And I don't know if that's one of the people that messaged you because I wasn't in those DMs, but we recommend purchasing zero point 0.5 to 1 eShare at a time on PancakeSwap. Imagine trying to buy 94 eShare, zero point 0.5 eShare at a time, and then still sometimes getting sandwich botted. It's really frustrating. And so, if those are long-standing participants who would like to purchase eShare in one big clump without getting sandwich botted, and we know that's not someone who's going to sell off, who plans to hold on to it for the long term, it makes sense. And it relieves a lot of their frustration so they still have a great attitude about our protocol moving forwards. And very soon it's no longer going to be an issue because we have this BSC DEX coming out, and there's no longer going to be sandwich bots that are an issue. So
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, I didn't know if I was muted. So, all right, cool. And then, yeah, the other question was, or I guess not a question, but the other thing you mentioned was the yield consortium. So, yeah, again, we've been keeping it on the down low for those that are only, listening to AMAs and paying attention. It is a private opportunity of essentially putting your capital to work and using the same strategies that we use as a treasury to generate real yield through concentrated liquidity providing. So we use the Dex vaults. Everything is super secure, and yeah, we if you are still interested in getting in, we've kind of been limiting it to the first week of every month, and then if you want to withdraw or compound, you can take out the last week of every month. But again, I'm happy to prorate earnings or at least get you in line for next month. So definitely reach out to me, send me a DM. It is $1,000 minimum, just so that we're not managing 500 people. But it is a private deal, and eventually it may become its own protocol. But for right now, we're just giving this opportunity to those that have been most engaged. So yeah, go ahead, LA. That was what I was gonna explain.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
for sure. All right, let's hop into some questions. So there is a question in the chats. If all of the EMP is sacrificed, what will happen with node rewards?
Yeah, so again, the nodes will actually be super better than they are at the current moment. Again, remember the nodes you're getting EMP from the nodes, and the nodes are very different than detonator reactor and everything else because nodes are actually EMP in and EMP out. So if we give out to peg, you're essentially 5 or 6x xing the amount of dollar value you're getting from your node payouts now. But that being said, and again, we've alluded to this many times now, we are looking into a migration where we actually sunset a lot of the legacy contracts, including NFTs, detonator, reactor, nodes, literally everything that was considered built prior to Fusion. Um, and again, it won't be a one for one compensation, but it will be a fair compensation and it will be applied to your position in Fusion. So we're working on some ideas. Again, nothing is set in stone, and we may just keep the legacy contracts as well. So again, don't take this as what is set in stone, but we are looking at a lot of options, and ultimately the theory behind sunsetting the legacy contracts is that we provide an out for those that feel like they you know were impacted negatively with those contracts, and we can move forward then full speed ahead with Fusion and not have that drama or that baggage that the legacy contracts have. So that is kind of what we're working on. And again, some value is better than no value. And again, we've never, abandoned anything that we do. So I think that we can come up with a good compromise that gives people, at least a little compensation and still makes Fusion super healthy. And if anything, makes Fusion even more powerful because there is a lot less selling pressure with those legacy contracts. So again, I think we're going to come up with a super bullish plan. And we're in the I don't want to say beginning stages, probably more like the middle stages of really finalizing that and updating all of you on the plan. So, yeah, hopefully that answers.
Yes, awesome. All right. I believe there was one or two on Discord. Let me pull those up. Oh no, that was from last week or Monday. So there's no more on Discord. And let's see, is there any more? Looks like that's it for questions for tonight.
Man, that might be a record, LA. Killer. So we're about half an hour, 35 minutes. And yeah, if any of you had questions in the chat last minute, we can get to it too. Um, yeah, the one last question is about attending events, both for HVM and I guess with EMP as well. Yeah, I mean, we unfortunately with COVID and everything that happened over the last 3 years, our plans for in-person events were definitely a lot less than we had hoped for. But LA was at multiple events. LA was at Splinterfest. She was at Consensus twice. So yeah, we definitely have a presence in real world cons and events. And yeah, I mean, I would assume that would only get more with the game. I know LA, you had a really killer idea with in-person events around the
Hmm.
game. But yeah, I mean, we definitely want to be more real life present for sure.
For sure. And Consensus is in my hometown of Toronto this coming year in May. So we'll definitely be at
Awesome.
that. Any excuse to go home and visit the fam and also do crypto at the same time is whoop, whoop.
I love it. So yeah, there you go. I mean, we will be definitely doing that. And with my schedule and 3 kids, it's hard, but we can definitely try to work it out. I was planning on going to Consensus, but we had our new baby. So yeah, we will definitely be doing more in-person things in 2025 and 2026.
For sure. Awesome. All right. Well, that looks like it's it. We have our Honor versus Madness AMA starting in 1 hour from now. So we're going to go get everything set up. Please make sure you join our Honor versus Madness Telegram group, and also please share the tweet about tonight's AMA on the Honor versus Madness account. And we really look forward to seeing you all there. We have an absolute killer lineup of information, announcements, graphics, tons of stuff coming your way. So it's definitely not one that you're going to want to miss.
Yeah, no doubt. Again, we are now going to get in the rhythm of specific AMAs, both for EMP and the EMP mothership ecosystem, and now Honorverse Madness. So this will be the new schedule. Once a week for Honorverse Madness rather than twice a week like EMP. But yeah, definitely mark your calendars. 8:30 p.m. Eastern for HVM, and obviously it will be recorded as well. Right now, like I mentioned at the top of the stream, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it on YouTube today, but hopefully by next week it'll be YouTube. But it will absolutely be recorded in Telegram and hopefully Twitter. So just bear with us as we get things rolling. I've said many times I'm not a YouTuber or a streamer. So I appreciate everybody's understanding as we try to build all this out by ourselves. So, all right, awesome. Yeah, LA, really great AMA. Any final words for everybody as we wrap it up for the week?
Just that things all around in our entire ecosystem are getting so gosh darn exciting. There's so much being accomplished every single day. I'm so excited about things that I was up till midnight working last night just because I couldn't put it down. I'm just so thrilled by everything that we're building. And I woke up, I was dancing in the kitchen this morning, cooking breakfast, like just such a good mood because it feels so good to have the level of support that we do with, this large development team, this amazing marketing team. And it just amplifies all of the work that we're putting in. And it feels so good to not have to do it alone. At least on my part with the marketing. But it's everything is so accelerated now and it feels amazing. And we have tight deadlines, kind of making sure to get them everything they need. But that being said, just kind of an explanation as to why it's impossible to kind of schedule AMAs during the day, because a lot of the teams that we work with, both the developers and the marketing team, we have to be on meetings and getting them the stuff they need during the day. I know the Europeans are always a little bit disappointed that our AMAs happen at night, but just to give you guys a perspective, most outside companies don't work 7 days a week like we do. They work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. And so if we have meetings, it's during the day. If we have deadlines of like getting them stuff, it's during the day. And then our developers, most of them are in Europe. So by the time we wake up, it's already midday there. And if we don't get them what they need in the first half of the day, it has to wait till the following day. And so we have to stay extremely efficient during the daytime hours. And we can't spend an hour or two on an AMA because that means we would be missing out on deadlines for submitting things that they need to do what they're working on, or getting, different support tickets and stuff sent to the developers, or having a developer meeting and really hashing out our plan for the next week. And all of those things, they all have to happen during the day. And then also just on AJ's side, he's got 3 kids, and it's more convenient for him to do these AMAs in the evening time when they're all heading to bed and things are quieter. So
For sure.
bear with us. We will always have a place for you to ask any questions because we want to make sure that all of your questions get answered. And also, just there will always be replays whenever we host AMAs. So we're doing our best to make sure that we get all the important information out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We really appreciate all your support. You guys have been killing it with the Radar, using the Radar app. Our engagement is way up. And just a reminder, when there's things like YouTube videos or Medium articles, that it really helps to also click into the link of whatever's being posted and do your likes and comments or claps on those individual platforms as well, because as we're advertising and marketing and doing KOL influencer campaigns, when they click into our profiles and see tons of engagement everywhere on all of our accounts, it makes people take a closer look and be willing to spend more time doing their due diligence and looking into our projects, because if there's crickets, they'll almost certainly move on right away. And so all of your help, your support, your engagement, it has been a big blessing, and we want to make sure you all know that you're super appreciated and we love you guys. AJ, anything else on your side?
Hey, sorry, I was muted. I'm the worst. Anyway, yeah, no, I agree 100%, LA. And yeah, I mean, to echo that, it's us really trying to just get everything going and making it as bullish as possible for what's about to come. Like, again, we said this on many AMAs. When you zoom in, yeah, it doesn't look as powerful, but when you zoom out and you really understand what we're building, you understand the tokenomics, you understand our vision of real yield and building protocols that feed Fusion forever. That is the power, and no other team and no other protocol offers that. So, yeah, I think that is a great way to end it here. Please join us over on the HVM Telegram as we get started for that AMA in just under an hour. And yeah, much love to all of you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That helps us with the engagement. And remember that we do our AMAs every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. So hope all of you have an amazing weekend. Good night, good day. We will see you on Monday.